E3 here, embodied, empowered, and ecstatic, just as I am. So we'll see who comes and what we want to focus on this live stream. But one thing that we're going to do for sure is the breath. We're focusing on the breath. And we're also going to use the passive machine mind. So the passive machine mind, you could call it the ego, but the ego is kind of a vague term often. Passive machine mind, it can be a little bit more specific. So passive, meaning we're not consciously putting the thoughts, the energies, the images, or the sounds into our consciousness. Machine, meaning that it's more mechanical, linear. And then mind, meaning that there's, what is the mind? Thoughts, sounds, images. Hey, Christy and Kirsty. Okay, so before we begin, do you want to share if there's been any stress, any challenges, any energies that you want to release? Because we're going to do some very simple breathing practices. Good thing you're already breathing, so good job. But it can be really helpful to not wait till the stress becomes too much and then try to do breathing. Often we say, just take a few breaths and relax. But one powerful practice is to consciously go into the fear before it chases us, you could say. And you could say the root of all fear is what? Or like, what's the ultimate fear? Probably death. So if we can face death each day on purpose, then I feel like that can be very liberating. Like that's the real ecstasy. So that's something I do every day as best as I can. Not just physical death, but even more so psychological death, because I can't really control exactly when I'm going to leave the body, unless I voluntarily choose to. But other than that, in a sense, it's up to God and my soul. So if there's anything that you would like to begin, that you know in your heart is good for you, but maybe it's a little uncomfortable. Because often what happens, we think about these things that we want to do, these things that are dreams in our heart, and then even at the thought of like thinking at it, imagine like you're starting where you're at, and the dream is somewhere here, and then somewhere along the line something freezes, and maybe there's a fear that comes in, a distraction, a belief. So what we can do here in the breath, hey Cindy, Kirsty and Christy, cool names. What we can do here is think of the fear, and or you could think of something that you want to cultivate, and we'll all be doing this in our own way, but we'll be breathing together. So if anyone wants to share anything. Hey Shawnee, thanks for being here. Okay, so let's start with bringing miracles into this vision. So try to think of something that you want to cultivate in your life. And we'll use the breath to bring in supportive energies. Like what would be a depressing breath? What would be a sad breath? What would be a hopeless breath? What would be an angry breath? An overwhelmed breath? And then think of the opposite. What would be an inspiring breath? What would be a breath that like, wow, even that breath, wow. So try to do this as a little child, not as the adult, not as the, not in the world of pressure and stress and limitations, but from that childlike power that we all have inside of us. And this is a very real practice. We don't want to wait till the pain becomes too much. We don't want to wait until we're very, very close to leaving the body. We don't want to wait till there's so much stress and anxiety that breathing would actually be detrimental. Breathing would actually cause more stress. So, hey Sarah, thanks for being here. Okay, so each of us in our own way, think of something that you want to cultivate in your life. It could be a dream, anything at all, anything that feels true for you in your heart. And we're just going to do this for 5 breaths. So try to have as much focus and ease as you can, because we're just going to do it 5 breaths. So think of whatever that thing is that you want to cultivate in your heart, a dream for yourself, a dream for the world. And if you're still here after we finish this first round, we'll do another round in a different way. But for this first round, we're going to focus on the dreams you want to cultivate. And then in the next round, we'll bring this energy to the world. Okay, so this is the way that I like to do the breath. So in your mind, try to visualize as many aspects of your dream as you can. What it would look like, what it would feel like, and what you would be doing, who you would be with, and how it would feel. And then we'll inhale towards the heart, hold the breath, and then exhale and relax. And imagine that you're talking to your angel guides or your higher self or God. And as we exhale together, we're exhaling the energy of, could call it faith or trust or surrender. So basically on the inhale, you're breathing in your truth with that vision. And then as you exhale, letting it go. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, so we'll do this for 5 breaths. We're all doing it in our own way, and I'll lead us in the breathing. Okay, so hold that image and that vision in your heart. Try not to get distracted. Good focus. Okay, and let's begin. Inhale through the nose, filling up your heart, your beautiful heart, with as much breath as you can. And then hold the breath. Think of that vision. Think of that dream. And then exhaling and relaxing into the energy of trust. It's going to happen even better than we can imagine. Okay, and then relax the breath. Okay, second breath. Inhale as deep as you can. When you've inhaled fully, hold the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhaling and letting it go. And then relaxing the breath. Try to have good focus. Keep on visualizing the dream from that little child space inside. Okay, third breath. Inhale as deep as you can towards your heart, keeping that dream in your mind. Good. And then imagine you have so much faith you can fully relax as you exhale. And when you're ready to exhale, letting it out. And relaxing the breath for a few breaths. Okay, 2 more rounds. Hold that vision in your mind and in your heart too. And when you're ready, inhaling. Inhale as deep as you can. When there's no more space, hold the breath. Imagine that you just brought so much love and positive energy to your dream. And then when you're ready, exhaling, letting it go. Okay. And then one more time. If you got distracted, either way, we'll refocus on a dream in your heart. It could be many dreams, But try to visualize them in your mind, like you're a little child daydreaming, which is a very powerful thing that children do. And we can still do it. So all together, we'll take a deep breath in, breathing towards your heart, and then holding the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhaling, letting go, letting the body relax. Beautiful. So before we continue, does anyone have anything you want to share? Anything that you noticed? Okay, I'll wait a few seconds because there's a little time delay. And like I said, it's good to do this practice when you're fairly chill. You know, if you wait till there's a lot of stress, it can be very hard. One thing I like to do is I like to go in a freezing cold shower and then do this practice. Because I figure if I can do it while the body is uncomfortable, then when the body is comfortable, it's easier. Hey Adam, thanks for being here now. Okay, so now we'll do the external. So from that space as a little child, what kind of energy do you want to see in the world? So you could say that certain forces in the universe, they want to put fear into humans. So this way, instead of visualizing from our innocent child's heart and our power, we'll be visualizing from fear. But we're doing the opposite here. Okay. How about this? This is the way I like to do it. If you'd like to join me, we'll do 3 rounds of the E3 affirmation. So it goes like this: I'm embodied. I am empowered. I am ecstatic. Just as I am. So you do the affirmation to focus the mind, to let the passive machine mind relax. And when the passive machine mind relaxes, then the loving mind can be awake. So the whole point of the affirmation is not necessarily the words, but to awaken, hopefully awaken a smile in your heart. So awaken a smile in your heart, and then from that feeling, from that vibration, then send positive visions into the world. You could focus on the details of what you want to see in the world, or you could focus just on the energy of it. So basically, we're doing a collective meditation here in a different way. Okay, so let's do 3 rounds, and you could change it up if you have your own affirmations or mantra, do that. It's important that it feels good for you. Okay, 3 rounds. I'll say one part and then pause, and you could repeat if you'd like. Let's begin. I am embodied. And then you'll repeat. I am embodied. I am empowered. I am empowered. I am ecstatic. I am ecstatic. And then we'll take a deep breath in, feel that energy. And then exhale and sending it out into the world. And then inhaling that same energy. And then exhaling and grounding. Okay, second round. I am embodied. I am empowered. I am ecstatic. This time's a little different. Take a deep breath in. After you inhale, a slight pause. Blessings to you, Noel, also. And then exhale and ground the energy. Now think of an image, a vision you want to send out into the world. Not the fear visualizations, but the higher frequency visualizations. And take a deep breath in, hold that image in your heart, and then exhale and sending it out. Okay, third round. Make it a good one. I am embodied. I am embodied. I am empowered. I am empowered. I am ecstatic. And inhale that positive energy, and then exhale, grounding it all the way down towards the earth. Feeling that same vibration, inhaling as deep as you can. After you inhale fully, hold the breath, hold a positive image for the world, a positive vision, an energy you want to send out to the world, and when you're ready, exhaling and sending it out. Good job. I think we need to celebrate each other more. Even if we didn't earn it or whatever, we just need to praise each other and celebrate each other. All right, awesome, beautiful. So did anyone notice anything inside or just from the practice that you want to share with the group? We were doing this through the new year as a preparing to bring in our new year intentions, but I'm going to continue forever in one form or another, creating or following the dreams of my heart. I want to help other people do the same. So does anyone have anything you want to share? Any visions that you want to share? I wish you could sun gaze with me. So beautiful. And I feel like it's good for I know it's good for the eyes and then also the brain too. So I'm definitely making the most of every resource. I mean, even the trees here have different types of medicine. The pine needles can be turned into tea. The sun is healing. The earth is very grounding. So there's lots of good stuff out here. Before we finish, does anyone have anything you want to focus on? Any questions? Somebody else who has brain cancer or any other situation might watch this video. Maybe your question would help them. Well, let's do a quick 5 seconds of surrender practice. So think about something that's either stressful because you want to release the energy, or it could be a little stressful because it's something you want to cultivate. It's not necessarily bad, the stress, but notice any energy that you want to release or energy that you want to move into. And instead of waiting till after the live stream or after today or after tomorrow, the 5 seconds of surrender can be used to instantly move into a space of humility. Because even if you start now with perfect focus and discipline and effort, there are still human limitations. So the 5 seconds of surrender, it's about 5 seconds of as much presence as we can. And then eventually that 5 seconds can help you build positive momentum. It's just 5 seconds. But it could be really powerful. It's kind of like you're setting yourself up for success instead of failure. So yeah, when you're ready, think about something that you want to start or let go, a dream in your heart. Imagine if you were writing a vision board, but in your mind. You could write a vision board in your mind right now. And then for 5 seconds, imagine that you are living that experience. You're not visualizing it only, but you're actually energetically, you are there now. And I'll do it right here with you. So I'll give you an example of an image or a vision. So for me, it's radiant health, strength, flexibility, good cardio. I can play guitar. I'm channeling love in many, many different forms and helping people. The pain is gone. I am part of the new upgraded earth where there's greater levels of peace, harmony, connection to nature, true medicine, true science, sharing of information that helps humanity. So that's my vision. There's much more to it, but that's an example. So in the 5 seconds, as much as I can, I am going to be, with all of you, visualizing, feeling that experience. The key is, just for those 5 seconds, surrender to it as much as you can. Try not to let one, as if your life depended on it, but staying as cool as a cucumber also, if that makes sense. So perfect focus, but also like full faith and relaxation for those 5 seconds. Okay, so when you're ready, give me a thumbs up. I wish I could see you now. Okay, so we'll start with an inhale, a full inhale, and a full exhale, as if nothing's going to get in your way or you're about to jump off the cliff into these 5 seconds of surrender, feeling your vision. And I'll be there for 5 seconds. And I'll take a deep inhale and exhale, and we'll celebrate what you just did. Now, for the adult ego, that might sound ridiculous. Like, what did I accomplish? What happened? But we want to get good at being in the success energy, the self-celebration energy. So this is really beautiful that we're doing it together. Okay, enough talking, more magic. Okay, so let's start with a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then fully moving into your vision for 5 seconds, beginning now. Good. And then inhaling deeply. Good. And exhale. Good, let's try that again. And this is a little trick we can play on the ego too. We set our standard, or we set our expectations so low that there's almost no resistance from the ego. And then we could do a little longer. So you start the 5 seconds, then you realize, wait, I could do this 10 seconds. I could do this 10 hours. I could do this my whole life. But you start with the 5 seconds, and all of us here are going to find our own way to do this, but this is a really cool practice to do. All right, so this time, if you'd like, let's see if we can do it for 1 minute. How does this sound for you? 1 minute. And another thing to remind yourself too is to celebrate and try not to minimize these practices that you do. I don't know about you, but there have been times where I've been in a lot of stress, fear, pain, addiction, and it feels so yucky. It's like a dark energy that just doesn't feel good. But sometimes when we're not in the fear, we kind of take it for granted. So let's do the opposite. Let's celebrate this positive energy that we're creating together. And this will be the last time I have to go. There's a woodpecker calling me. So for 1 minute this time, you mastered 5 seconds. Now let's master 1 minute. Think of the vision that you have for your life. Maybe not the details, you could, but focus on the essence of who you are and your soul's mission. You know who you are, you know your soul's mission. You've felt it for a very long time, so let's be in that space, forget about everything else. And again, we'll start with a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, imagine you're just sprinting right into it, but staying calm at the same time. And then after a minute, take a deep breath in, and then exhaling, celebrating yourself. Okay, let's begin. A deep breath in. And exhaling and begin. 1 minute. Beautiful. We'll take a deep breath in, and then celebrating yourself as you exhale. Very good. It's kind of a cool, simple practice. This can be applied in many situations. Like if you want to work out, tell yourself, 5 seconds of surrender. And you could make it 5 breaths of surrender. You could make it 5, literally like 5 reps if you're doing workout at a gym. And for those 5 reps or breaths or seconds, do it as best as you can. One way I do this is in the morning. Like, for example, this morning there's so much pain again. Like, it's just, it's kind of a beautiful thing, regardless of how much integrity, how much, even the pain medication. I don't like the opioids, so I haven't taken them in a long time. But there's pain. So I tell myself, can I get in the freezing cold shower before the 5 breaths are finished? So I start breathing slow. It's kind of like a little game I've been playing with myself. And then before the 5th breath, can I get in the shower? Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, but it's kind of a cool, thing to do. Or like if I'm walking from the car to the house, how few breaths can I take before I get to the house? So it's a little different than doing pranayama per se. This is more about just connecting with the breath, connecting with that space of surrender. And it could be physical surrender, but often it's just the mind. I think you know what I'm saying. So I do have to go now. I'm very grateful for all of you. I wish it wasn't like a one-way voice conversation, but I'm grateful for it. So remember, keep on projecting those positive visions as much as you can. In many ways, that's all we have right now. Meditation, prayer, of course, action, but studies have shown meditation can have a real impact on society. There have been studies where there's meditation groups and the crime is reduced in the society. And from these studies, they say it's not a correlation, or it was either a very strong correlation or, I think it was a very, very strong correlation. I don't think they were able to determine it was a causation, but they did the experiment many times. and they saw a strong correlation. So interesting to experiment. Maybe this is why we came here. You know. So, does anyone have any questions or anything you wanted to share about your practice here? Okay, well, if you'd like to join me for one last round of the E3 affirmation, because even though we have physical limitations, I feel like we all are embodied, empowered, and ecstatic. Love you too. All right, so just for a few moments, not to bypass anything, but just forget about everything else. The pain, any stress, any challenges, any projections into the future. Quite literally push the stop button and push the start button for the E3 affirmation. Okay, let's begin. I am embodied. I am embodied. I am empowered. I am empowered. And then again, just as we are, I am ecstatic. I am ecstatic. And then feel that positive energy in just one breath. Inhale deeply towards your heart. Feel the love in your heart. And then as you exhale, imagine that you're grounding down towards the earth. Even if you can't touch the earth right now, energetically, your heart and the earth's heart are connected. Right. This is great. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that we can connect energetically, and we're each doing our own best that we can to bring love to the world. So this is great. I have a lot of faith, and there's fear every day, but thank you for joining me on this journey, and I really, really look forward to connecting. Feel free to reach out anytime, and look forward to the next practice. Remember, 5 seconds of surrender.